How's it going, everybody? Nathaniel from RCInsight here, and today I'm going to be telling you guys how to safely charge your RC car batteries. There's not too much to this, so it should be a relatively quick and easy video, but there are just some easy tips and pointers that I have for you guys to make sure that you are charging your RC batteries safely and securely, and that you are not putting yourself or the people around you at any unnecessary risk. This becomes particularly prevalent if you have slightly puffed lipos like I do right now. You want to be exceptionally careful about how you're charging them, just to make sure that everything is okay and you are not taking any unnecessary risks when charging your RC car batteries. Realistically, nothing really should go wrong, but there is always the chance that it could, so you want to be prepared. Quickly before I get into this, there are going to be links in the description on what to do if you have puffed lipos like I do. I have a video on that. And then also videos on how to charge your RC car batteries, because that's a totally separate topic. So I'll have the link to how to charge your batteries in the description, and also charger reviews and stuff. So I'm using the Onyx Duratrax 200 AC/DC charger, and I have reviews and tutorials for that on my channel already. And so I'll link those in the descriptions if you are starting out and you want to know how to use various chargers. But this video is kind of universal. It supersedes any specific charger, and it's all about safely charging your batteries just in general. And so like I said, it doesn't matter what charger you have. These are kind of some general rules that you want to follow by. So the first thing is always supervise your batteries while they're charging. Always supervise them. I cannot stress enough how important it is to make sure that you are keeping an eye out for your batteries while they are charging. That way, if something were to happen, you would be able to see it right away and get on top of it before it could be a problem. Particularly, batteries can explode, they can cause fires. And so if you're not in the room and something were to happen, obviously fire can spread quickly and something could get out of control really fast, when if you had been in the room, you would have been able to kind of contain it right away. Building on that, it kind of goes without saying, but make sure you find a charging location that is away from any flammable materials. So don't be charging your batteries on a carpet or even a hardwood floor. If you have like a tile floor or a room with tile and stone, not a lot of wood and carpet and fabrics, that would be the preferred place for you to be charging these batteries, just to minimize the potential risk of a fire spreading if one were to start. So generally try and find a room away from anything important or flammable. Certainly you don't want to be charging your batteries in your kitchen or your dining room either, around other appliances and stuff. You generally want to keep it away from that. I tend to charge my batteries in my living room, and I kind of keep them off and away from any furniture, appliances, all that sort of thing, just as an added precaution. Next, I don't really recommend charging your batteries outside either. While that does mitigate a lot of the risk in terms of if there were a fire, you have some other issues with that. Unless you're going to be outside to supervise them while you're charging them outside, I generally don't recommend it because, something like an animal could come along and mess it up, though that's less likely. The bigger concerns with the outdoors are there's, a fine temperature gap where it's probably acceptable to charge it outside. And then outside of that temperature gap, you're not going to want to. So if it's too hot, your battery can overheat easily. And so you're going to want to find most of the time to have a room that is either room temperature or a little cooler when you're charging your batteries. Because if it's, scorching 40 degrees out, you don't want to be charging your battery in 40-degree heat. You want to be in a room that's air conditioned and 20 degrees, for example, because your batteries get hot enough on their own and you don't need the added heat to just boost that. Likewise, if it's too cold, batteries do not perform well in the cold. We can all know this just from the fact that our phones seem to die instantly. So if it's -10 out like it is today for me here, you also do not want to be charging your battery in temperatures like that, because your performance is just not great. And so you don't want to be charging your batteries in super cold environments or using them in super cold environments, because your battery just does not fare as well in that type of weather. And so again, that's why you kind of want a lukewarm to room temperature room whenever you're charging it. 20 degrees Celsius is probably the ideal. I'll have Fahrenheit flash up across the screen for those of you who are American, because I don't know the conversion off the top of my head. Lastly, and probably the biggest tip that I can give you guys, and it is the one that I use the most, is have a charging tin like this. It helps mitigate a ton of the risk and also alleviates some of the concern if for some reason you are pulled away from the batteries while they're charging and drawn into another room and you lose supervision of them. All you have to do is take a metal container, and I've just cut out a square hole in it like this. I've duct taped around the sides just so that it's a smoother finish there. I'm not running the risk of cutting myself on the metal. And then so you'll notice I take the lid off here, and it's very simple. I just go ahead and throw one of my batteries inside, and then you'll see that it can stick out the hole like this. And that way you can charge your battery like this. Just put the lid back on. And this way, if there were to be a fire or an explosion or something like that, it should then be mostly contained to within your little tin container here, really minimizing the risk of a fire spreading. If you lost supervision, or even if you had supervision of it and something happened, it could prevent something from going wrong, just because it would hopefully be mostly contained within this, so nothing could catch fire easily. And so yes, this is probably what I recommend the most. It is extremely helpful, and like I said, very convenient. You see it just sticks out the end like that, and you can charge it no problem, and you're being far more safe than you were before, even if you are not supervising it in person. So guys, those are my little tips and tricks and advice on how to safely charge your RC car batteries. Like I said, it's pretty simple. Supervise it at all times. Having a tin really helps, and make sure that you are away from anything that is flammable and in, a room that is a good temperature for your batteries, so it's not too hot, not too cold. And that is about it. It is pretty straightforward, but for those of you who are wondering, there are obviously things that you can do to help minimize your risk and certain things that you want to avoid when charging your batteries. Hope you guys found this video useful. If you did, click the like button down below to show your support. It's always appreciated. Subscribe for more tutorials like this, as well as other RC videos, bashing, jumping videos, planes videos, all that sorts of stuff you can find on my channel. I'm going to be trying to do an RC video once weekly, along with, of course, my regular selection of other content like my perplexes and Lego stuff. So subscribe if you're interested in any of that to see those videos as soon as they come out. And with all that said, thanks so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.